Hello everyone, you are welcome to a brand new episode of Sister right here on ChannelOne TV. And of course, if you're listening, it's your favorite radio station, City 97.3 FM. My name is Kata, and as you can see, I'm actually very excited to be here today because we've gotten all the letters that you sent, and obviously we're going to be reading it on the show. But if you join us for the first time and you're wondering, letters, reading letters on the show, what is this about? This is the longest running and your favorite relationship show on air, where we get to read all the letters that you've sent us that has to do with your relationships, any sort of relationships that you find yourself in, and you don't really understand the dynamics and understand what is really going on in this relationship right now. We get to read it here on the show. I say we because I get to do this with my sisters. But I want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, a very big thank you to Gino for holding us down always. Thank you so much for all that you do. And of course, to you, the viewers, thank you for, joining us here every evening for us to have these discussions. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be getting straight into introducing the sisters and checking out our letters of the week. Welcome back. It's still Sister right here on ChannelOne TV. And if you're listening, it's City 97.3 FM. And it's still me, Kata. Well, it's time for you to meet the sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, today, this lady is actually not repping her name, but she's repping, one of the elements that is attached to her name. You know, when you see a rose flower, it's usually like probably red, so a red rose flower. And this time around, she's wearing green, which is like the leaves on the rose. Hi, Rosie.
Hi, Chris. I was a bit confused, like I thought you was me.
Because you're always wearing red, representing rose. But today you're wearing the green on the leaves.
Package.
It's a total, well, I can still see the red though.
When people think of red, it's fire, passion, but sometimes we also give life.
Oh, I like that. So the green is representing life.
For today. Yeah, but don't forget the fire.
Oh, Rosie with the vibes. You're welcome, Rosie. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I like your hair.
Thank you.
And a little birdie told me it was your daughter that inspired this hairstyle.
Yeah, so this is Danica Inspired Productions.
Shout out to Danica. I know this is not for children, but shout out to Danica. And today, well, she changed. I don't know what happened, but whatever it is, it looks really nice.
She grabbed the shaving machine.
Sister Jovi, what happened to the hair?
I just got tired of the whole wigs, I just got tired. And I say that men don't know what God has done for them.
Right.
The fact that you get a bath in your hair,
yeah. So now water touches the scalp.
Oh my goodness.
And how does it feel?
Amazing.
And the air actually hits your scalp, right?
No way. It's sweet.
Wow.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you look nice. It really looks nice on you, and you look powerful.
Thank you.
Okay. And of course, the academia in our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ethel.
Yes.
How are you, Dr. Ethel?
Good, Chris. How are you?
I'm fine. How's work?
Great.
How's everything going? How are the students?
They're doing well, I believe. They will survive.
Right.
They will survive.
They will survive?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So, Ethel, a little bit told me that you were actually doing something for the people in the North, and I think it's really interesting. Can you give us a rundown about what it is?
Yes, so it's actually an eye screening that we want to have for the people of Tongo in a village in the Upper East region. And we are sending in some very specialists in that area to have eye screening, but also we wish to do surgeries around that, and we would need all the help we can get. So we are calling the whole world. If you have the monies and any resources, the people of Tongo would thank you.
Right. You see, this only happens in sister, because we have the smartest, the baddest, the most caring people among us. And it's always an honor to sit here with you guys.
Same
well
here.
done.
Same here.
All right, so ladies, we are ready. We have 2 letters which the viewers have sent via our email. And if you want to send yours, it's sisterisislive@gmail.com. Today looks like a mouthful, but yeah, that's it. So let's just get straight into it. Dear sisters, please keep me anonymous. Gun, 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 gun. I'm a young Ghanaian lady in my late 20s. I've been in a relationship with a Ghanaian man who currently lives abroad. We've been together for a year now, and our relationship has grown in love, depth, and commitment. Recently, he asked me to move over and live with him. While I love him deeply and truly see a future with him, I've been feeling very hesitant about this next step. I've heard too many heartbreaking stories of women who moved abroad to live with men only to find themselves in complicated or painful situations. I believe in building a strong foundation for a lasting relationship. As much as I want to be with him and share a life together, I would prefer for us to get married before taking the next big step of moving in together, especially in a new country where I would have to start life all over again, far from home, from family, and my current support system. He says he understands, but I also feel the pressure of not wanting to lose him or come across as not being fully committed. I don't want to make a decision out of fear or fantasy. I want to make a wise one rooted in love, mutual respect, and long-term security. Sisters, I'm torn. What should I do? Should I wait until marriage before making the move, or take a leap of faith and go? I would really appreciate your honest advice. Da 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 da, a confused lady. Rose, what are you thinking about?
See, I did my face so hard. I didn't want you to call me.
But that's the point. You got my attention because it was so hard.
I did my face so hard. Anyways, I'd like to thank you for sending in the letter. I'm torn. It was like 2 different thoughts. I'm torn between 2 different thoughts because, you see, to start with, the relationship is only a year old.
Yeah.
And it's a long-distance relationship. And I keep saying that when it comes to long-distance relationships, if you say you've been dating for a year, it could actually be dating for a month or probably 6 weeks. Yes. Because if it's long-distance, the person is out there, you are here. All you keep doing is the phone calls, the talking. Videos. But the active time that you've spent in the same space really could be probably be about a month or 2 at the most.
Yeah.
Because when he travels, actually maybe 4 or 5 months before he'll come back. And I doubt that's what's happening. So which means the relationship is so young. Number 2, marriage is serious business. You need to be ready mentally for marriage. If you're not ready for marriage, it's not something that you should play with, and it's serious business. So before you start talking and think about marriage, be sure that you know who you're marrying. Be sure that you own the marriage, because sometimes it can go south. But it's easier if it is your decision and it goes south. It's easier to accept, as opposed to when you just get up and you decide to just marry because everybody's married brochure and all that. Now, to the substance of the case. Now, he's invited you to stay with him, but you want to get married first before you go. My initial thoughts were like, but you cry. Why would you want to tie yourself down with marriage before you go? That was my initial thought. Why would you want to tie yourself with marriage before you go? Because you may go and maybe not like one thing or another and would actually want to distance yourself from this particular gentleman. So maybe it's actually a plus for you to go without even marriage. But then again, when it comes to traveling outside and relocating, you also need to have a plan for yourself. What do you intend to do? Do some research. If I go there, are there some courses I can take to sort of like integrate me into the system? Are there some people I can identify to do some work based on which I can grow myself to do A, B, C, D, E? But when you are just going because he says you should come, because you're in love, because of the midnight talks, at the end of the day, you might be found wanting. At the same time, you can also go there because there are also stories where people travel, whether they are married or unmarried, and then they are held captives in their homes. Once the person brings you over, they take over your passport, they take over everything, and then they sort of like treat you like a slave in the home.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what you are going to meet. And if that is the situation, married or no married, it doesn't really matter. You understand? And the marriage before you go to, I can understand, because you want to make sure that whatever step you are taking it with somebody that you have a future with.
Yeah.
So that if you are putting everything behind, like me, like this, I have a job, standard, well-paying job, and I'm comfortable in my, you know, like for me to just put everything aside and say I'm going.
Like a whole career.
Maybe you want something to hold on to justify why you are leaving to go. But what I'll say is that it's neither here nor there. But personally, the relationship is too young for such a drastic decision to be taken. If you do want to take it because in your mind, because people meet people in a week and they get married and it works perfectly fine. I know somebody who dated a lady for close to 10 years. And they were so much in love. Everybody thought, oh, Charlie, these people, they've known themselves from like, they got married after 3 months, the marriage was over. And they actually divorced proper after 3 months. So the longevity is no guarantee that the marriage will be a success. Because some have met 1 week and then they have been successful. So what I'll tell you is that, look, be truthful with yourself. You are the one in the relationship. This person, what do you feel about him? How do you look? Because sometimes in between all the niceties, there are vibes that you get. Whether it's something that you want to risk or not. And if you want to risk it, make sure that you have an idea, a plan where you are going. Don't go outside clueless. Because people have this impression that, oh, once you go outside, everything will be done. But trust me, why are there street people in those countries?
Right.
Why are there homeless people in those countries? It means that if you don't put your act together, I was going to say something else. If you don't put your act together, you would also end up in the streets.
Yeah.
You end up being taken advantage of. You end up doing something that you don't really want to do. You end up in a state, so have a plan for yourself. For me, the marriage or not marriage is not really a big deal for me. My big deal is, what are you doing in Ghana? What do you intend to do there? How do you intend as a person to survive?
Yeah.
And if this person is somebody you really want to spend your life with, and this is the decision you want to take before you go, it's your decision, take it. But whatever you do should be such that even if you go south, you own it. Yeah.
All right, Ajovi, what are your thoughts?
I think that her concerns are valid, but the gentleman in question's concerns are also valid. I think this is a man who has actually thought things through. He doesn't want to go on a journey and then later on find out that, okay, it's not what I hoped it would be. I always say that women love fully with their hearts without thinking of the logical aspect of it. This is a clear case. The man is in love, yes, but then he's also thinking of their future, also thinking of the fact that, okay, is this somebody that I'm compatible with if we get to spend time together? I think that's where his mind is at. And the lady, I think that what I sense from her message is that she's looking at the time aspects of her life. She's thinking, okay, I'm at the stage where I should get married, which is why she so is bent on getting married before she goes outside of the country. I would say that she should look at it from this angle. She should see it as an opportunity of getting to know the man she's going to spend forever with, you know, get to know him well. Because marriage is a journey where when you start, I mean, nobody goes into marriage with the hope of getting out so quickly. You go in with the hope of, you know, having a forever beautiful family, you know, with this partner you have chosen. So I think that you should look at it from that angle. See it as a chance to get to know this person, because like Rosie clearly said, long distance is not the same as being in the same space with a person. Sometimes you find out a person's true character when you get to live together. Sometimes you find out a person's true character when you even get to work together. So for now, I'm not sure she can say that she fully knows him. And if she says she fully knows him,
then you shouldn't compare your story to another person's story, because we are all on different journeys. So the fact that Kwesi or Amma went abroad to get married and her marriage didn't work out doesn't mean that your story will be the same. I think you should have a conversation with this gentleman, get to understand why he wants you to come first before the marriage takes place. And then also get him to also see your point of view, why you also are of the notion that you want to get married before you go out there. And secondly, like Rosie said, what are the thoughts or what are the plans that you have for yourself? As a woman, you should have, not just as a woman, as a human being, you should have goals, aspirations for yourself. Do you see yourself living abroad? Do you see yourself living in Ghana? What do you see yourself doing career-wise? Would you want to live abroad and do a white-collar job, or you want to go in with a skill? You should, think about all these things. It shouldn't just be about marriage, because I feel there are so many opportunities out there. It shouldn't just be, oh, I'm going abroad for marriage. I think that if I were her, I would want to go there to explore,
Right.
my options, get to know this gentleman very well, get to spend at least 6 months with him. We see the type of food he likes, whether when he wakes up in the morning, if he's cranky or not. He also gets to see if he's clean, bits and pieces of all these things. Because sometimes the smallest details become the huge problems in a situation, in a marriage, in a relationship, whatever. So for me, I think that she should have a conversation with her partner and also think for herself, what does she want to do long term?
Right. All right, Dr. Etel, let's talk about career. Would you think it's advisable for her to just get up and leave, especially if she has a career here? A
No.
budding career.
A what?
A growing and budding career.
Growing, yeah. I think that there has to be a lot of evaluation and thought of what you want for yourself and what is out there for you. Like both of them have said, you should have dreams, you should have your aspirations, and so to take a decision like that, it should be based on what do I want? How do I want to progress from here? When I get there, what does it look like there? Of course, it's a human situation and you cannot be 100% sure what is exactly out there, but at least you can get an idea of what the scenario is. And so you will need to do a very good research into what the opportunities are there for you in terms of your line of work, and what are the possibilities of you being able to continue that, or any alternatives that you would be interested in when you get there. If it was my sister, I would say that why would you want to leave this that is working for you here? I think that some of us, like one of us said, thinks that when you get there, everything is going to work and it's all goodies, and you can, it's just, you pick the opportunities just like that. Some of us have thought like that before. We got there and we got the shock of our lives and realized that we needed to do more thinking than we got here. You can starve. I have gone through that before. You get there and you have one egg. In fact, the rice that you are eating was given to you by your friends, and one egg that you put on it, and you have to manage with that. But are you ready for that? If you think through it and you know that this is what I'm going to meet, and I'm ready to face this until I get myself out there, then maybe you can do your math and know whether it's okay to leave it and go. So it's not a straightforward answer. We can't sit here and say, oh, don't leave it. What if you get there and things get fantastic for you? But it all has to be a calculated step you take.
Right.
Don't just up and leave.
Right.
If you think that, look, I'm doing so well here, when I get there, it's nursing that is available, it's cleaning, it is McDonald's that is there. I'm not the kind who can do any of these things. I think that what is here for me is working for me. I can progress in this line, but not that. Then you can take a good decision. Some of us take it because we love the man and we want to make him happy. We don't want him, lose that opportunity. It's as though that's all that, has come and would ever be for you.
Right.
But I think that you should know that without that, there is more. You just haven't been looking around because you've been holding on to that, thinking that's it. It's a good thing, though, but you need to, assess yourself.
Right.
I'm really happy with the line of argument they have put to where women should really look out for themselves in taking this decision, because we usually don't.
I was thinking, is it possible that we would advise her to possibly go for a visit?
Yes.
Not
Yeah,
necessarily
not move at once.
move or even put the marriage on the table.
Yes.
Just go for, even if it's a 1 month visit, even a
Yes.
6 weeks visit.
Yes.
Yes.
And tell them that, oh, maybe there are processes at your workplace or something, and they need to fulfill those things. But you want to take your annual leave, you want to come over for about 6 weeks, and then you want to test the waters to see what you could possibly do when you get there. And don't really, because you see, sometimes when you hammer on marriage, baby, it gives the impression that you are just desperate for marriage.
That's what I am thinking. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. I think she's
It,
looking at
it
the
hammers
age.
that either you are desperate for
age
marriage
thing.
or because you want the marriage to happen here,
Yes.
where your friends are, you can make a
Yes.
big deal
She's
out of
married
it.
and
There's a part of you that wants your friends there,
Yes.
so I can do the whole, should we collect the things or should we not collect the things, that kind of thing. You know,
It can also be a family thing.
yeah, it can also be a family
Also
thing.
protection.
Yes, or maybe
Yes.
protection. But at the end of the day, I'm just thinking that nothing stops you from going for a visit.
And coming.
Just go for a plain, simple visit. Sometimes, like Ajovi said, that visit can reveal so much, even in 6 weeks. Because you see, when the person comes to Ghana, the person is not in their natural habitat
Yeah.
because they are working there. Or his friends, he comes here within 3-4 weeks, you spend time. When you go there in their natural habitat, you see his work ethics, the way his house is set up, how things are done, how things are run. And when people are in their natural habitats, they tend to behave in their natural selves. So if I'm at home, the way I'll talk, the way I'll do this is very different from when I come to city and I know that there's a camera on me and I have to talk. You understand? And the same way, when I come to your house, I'll look at if you have white carpets and things in your house. If I come to your house, even when I'm walking, my walking will be different, will be calculated. I'll choose where my feet should step. But if I come to your house and your house is dirty, clothes lying all over the place, then I also have an idea the kind of person you are. So I'm just thinking that go into the man's natural habitat for a period, 6 weeks, just to figure out whether this is something you want to do. Now, when you do that, you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. 1, you get to seek out for opportunities that you may have. And 2, you get to find out whether this marriage to this particular person, is this something I truly and really want?
Right. Okay. We actually have some comments here, and we're just going to go through them. So these comments are from our Facebook page. Dear sister, your caution is not fear, it is wisdom. And this is by Ifwa in Cape Coast. In Ghana, we value home, family, and spiritual security. If your heart is not settled, don't force the next step. Let marriage come first. The commitment gives you legal and emotional protection. A year is not too long. Take your time and let love meet structure. Like Rosie said, the whole year thing, it's nothing. Yeah. And we have Puffer Wonder. Get married before moving. Simple and short. Yao from Tema. You are not wrong for wanting the ring before relocation. Abroad can be very lonely, and without marriage, your position in his life isn't fully secure. If he truly loves you, he'll honor your wish. Don't rush. Love should not pressure you into uncertainty. Agnes is saying marriage should be on the table now. Should be on the table now, and not him asking you to move in. What's his problem?
Why is the marriage like a...
Oguchi said, why not go and visit first and have a
Yes.
couple's time? The visit will open your eyes to what you want. Commitment in marriage is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Do not give it carelessly or in haste.
Yes,
Yeah.
marriage is not
Chiamaka
just
from
dating.
Nigeria. My sister, love is sweet, but marriage is sacred. In Nigeria, we say, not be all who... okay. not be all who you follow go enter bush, go fight lion with you. So basically, it's not everyone that, enters the bush with you that will fight the lion with you. Sometimes you
Some
can
will
be
leave you.
alone.
Yes.
You're wise to be cautious. If he's serious, marriage should not be a problem. Don't go abroad to test the relationship. Go to build what has already been confirmed. So Tunde in Ibadan is saying, this your letter shows you are emotionally mature. Many Nigerian women have entered one-chance relationships abroad because they moved in too soon. My advice is marry first, not just for security, but for the peace of mind. If he's the one, he'll wait and walk the right path with you. Akuvi from Togo. Sister, you are brave to ask the question. In our culture, we are taught to value dignity and family support. Abroad is a beautiful place, but can also become a prison if love turns cold. Ask yourself, if this relationship ended there, would you protect, who would protect you and help you? Marriage is not just tradition, it's a shield. And Kosi from Kwalime, that's in Togo, love needs both trust and timing. From Togo, we've seen many sisters regret moving before being sure. Don't ignore your instincts. If your spirit is not at peace, wait. A man who loves you will honor your boundaries. Blessing from Monrovia. It's saying, sis, don't feel guilty for wanting to be wise. Love can blind us sometimes, but your clarity is a gift. In Liberia, we always say, don't leave your good slippers at home for the promise of a golden shoes abroad. If marriage gives you security, hold on to that. Let him show commitment. And lastly, another one, James, I think from Liberia again. You've only known each other for a year, and it's long distance. That is not enough to risk your whole life. Abroad is a whole different ball game. If he's a real man, he'll make things official. Don't move because you're afraid to lose him. Move only when your heart and head are aligned. We'll take a quick break now and we'll come back to get into the second story. We'll be back. Welcome back. It's still Sister, and the sisters are here. And we have actually gone through our first letter, which you sent to us. Very interesting. The issues of jackbuying and unjackbuying. For love. For love. Hey. Anyway, we have a second letter here. Dear sisters, I'm a 35-year-old married man with 2 children. My wife has always had a very close relationship with her father. In the beginning, I thought it was sweet, but years down the line, I'm honestly disturbed. They do everything together. They travel, shop, and share personal conversations she doesn't even have with me. During the birth of our second child, my wife refused my sister's help, but allowed her dad in the labor room. That really hurt. I feel like I've lost the intimacy I once had with her, and that her father has taken center stage in her life. Whenever I raise it, she tells me I'm overthinking things. Sisters, is this normal for daddy's girls, or is there something deeper I should be concerned about? I really need your help, a disturbed brother. Is this a daddy's girl thing? I'm a daddy's girl.
I don't think so.
Why? Why?
It's not a daddy's girls thing. My father has given an advice once, I remember. He said that once you get married, right, there's a limit to the kind of things you can bring home, the kind of subjects you can bring home. You and your husband have to find a way to resolve certain issues. The issues you should bring home, or the subjects you should bring home, should be subjects that maybe you've tried everything there is to help to resolve, and then you couldn't find heads way, and you think, like they are very serious, very delicate issues. Then you can involve family. And no matter how close we are, or I am to my dad, even he is able to make me see that you need to draw a boundary. Because even the Bible says that when you get married, a man and a woman will leave their father and mother to become one. So you are one. So I think it's a thing of maturing and realizing that if you've chosen to spend your life, your eternity with somebody, be it male or female, you should know that that person is not just your partner, that person is your friend, that person is your father as well. So there are certain things, you know, that you're one. You know, how you used to be with your parents, you shouldn't be like that again, because if that's the case, then you shouldn't have been married. You should have still been living with your father. And I think that he should, I'm not sure how he's been able to, how he's raised the issue over the years. I think he should find a nice way, a very candid way of talking to her about it, making her see his point of view. Because I always say that communication is key. If you do not communicate with this person, you may not find the answers you're looking for. I could give you an advice, the sisters could give you an advice, but it boils down to who you're dealing with and you as an individual. So I think they should have a communication. Let her see how her actions, her relationship with her family or her father is affecting your marriage.
Right.
Right. I think she and her father's relationship is a bit intense. And then again, I think her father also needs to let his daughter know that you need to draw a line. Maybe she's the child, maybe she's not seeing it, but what about you? You are the father. You are the older one. You are the one dishing out advice. You are the one grooming. You are the one training. So there are certain things you should be able to say that, no, my daughter, you don't do this. My daughter, this position, this very thing, your husband has to do this. And the case of the labor room, I think that's a bit intense.
But what if she doesn't like the sister? Well, I don't want to use like the
What
sister.
about your husband?
What if they're not close? Maybe I feel like he was probably not around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
then let me leave that
because
alone.
for labor, I don't think you should impose who should be with me. Like, if you're not there, don't tell me your sister will be there. Maybe I want my own sister. Maybe she doesn't have a sister. Maybe her mother is dead. I want us to look at it from another perspective. Like, say, it's just father and daughter that exists right now.
I think their relationship is a bit intense.
Okay?
I think it's a bit intense.
Who is complaining now? Is it the sister?
No, the man, the
man.
husband.
The husband is the one
Yes.
complaining. Oh.
So what do you think?
I'm just wondering what exactly his fear is.
That they're sleeping together.
Wow.
I think that would be a bit.
I like the wow.
I think that's a bit intense.
That would be intense. That would be scary.
Yeah.
And yes, if their relationship gives you cause to even think like that or feel like that, there must be something he has seen that maybe he hasn't even
They
put.
travel together.
They travel.
They shop together. They have intimate
they
gossips
need to draw
together.
a line. Draw a line.
I mean, you give him more details of your life than your own husband. Ooh, that's too much. That's too much. It could be that, yes, it's not gotten to the sexual thing, but even if it's just a daddy's thing, I think she's taking it too far. And I will agree with Ajuvi that you should not continue that kind of a relationship with your father, even if that is what it was before you got married. She should have come to understand that marriage is you and your husband, and the two of you are supposed to become one. You cleave together. In fact, the Bible says that you would leave home. Leaving home means that you left daddy, you've left mommy, you've left the brothers and sisters. Of course, not to say that you don't have anything to do with them anymore, but it means that now it's me and my husband. You reduce the kind of relationship you have, the intensity to this, I mean, not even for it to get to this extent. So there has to be a very deep discussion. I'm thinking that maybe he has tried to talk to her, like he has said that when he mentions it, she brushes it off and says that he's thinking too much. I think that he has to make more efforts to have that discussion. Maybe it's time to bring in a third party in terms of counselor or somebody that she really holds in high esteem, and let her know that, look, this thing, I'm not taking it lightly. I'm really bothered. I'm worried about it. And I need us to really have a discussion Because if it's to that extent, no, I won't want to be in that space with you. And I can leave for you and your daddy to continue.
Right.
Yes, to have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Rosie, what are your thoughts? And before you actually answer that, I have seen this situation with mother and daughter before, and the husband was feeling so left out. And it was also a situation of their dad is dead, and there are no siblings. It's just two of us against the world. It has always been that from the beginning, and now it transcended into marriage.
You see, there's this saying that you do unto others what you want to be done unto you. Now, how would I feel if I'm in a relationship and I can't be friends with my boyfriend, I can't be friends with my husband? It's very painful. Especially when you feel that somebody else has it. Look, even me, when I'm friends with you, so some of my guy, I keep saying that growing up, I've done a lot of boy activities, basketball, science, all of that. So most of my friends have been gentlemen. Now, there are instances where they get married. There was this guy in particular I was so very close to. As soon as he got married, I just distanced myself from him. And he actually asked me, Rosie, why are you no longer? And I said, because you are married. I need you to bond with your wife. Yes. You see, if you mean well for whoever you claim that you love, or whoever you claim that is either your child, your friend, whatever, your sister, your brother, and they enter into this covenant of marriage with somebody that they have known much less than you in terms of the time with them, the least you can do is to give them space to nurture that bond. As a father, if you look at how the law works, you will leave your child behind. Now, if you continue to have this bond with your child, knock on wood, when you leave, your child will be a mental case. He will not be able to bond with the husband as they are supposed to bond. And for me, the man thinking that maybe there's some form of unusual relationship with the father, if I were in the man's shoes, I would think the same. I'm not saying it's happening, but I will think the same.
But what if the father was the mother?
No, it's not what I'm saying in this case.
Okay.
As a person, if my husband and the mother had this relationship and it was so much like this, I'll probably think there's something going on.
Yeah.
And even if it's mother and daughter, I'll probably think that maybe there's something going on. No, it's possible.
Yeah.
You see, so at the end of the day, and you see, another thing I want to say is that when it comes to marriage, and one partner has a concern, I have a problem when the other partner says, oh, you're overthinking it. You don't brush aside something that is of concern to your partner. Because you are married, you owe it to your spouse to, one, explain. To, two, try and do something about it. Three, assure the person. Like you owe it to the person to give a response. You can't just say, oh, you're overthinking it. Oh, it's not true. Oh, nothing is happening. You are giving this thing more importance than it deserves. Once you make statements like that, you are dismissing what the person is going through. And it makes the person sink further. So I think that the wife should attach some importance to the complaints of the husband. And it's her duty for her to address those concerns. And the father too, I'm disappointed.
Too much.
You see, Ajovi says something that the child is a child. She's grown up, daddy is education, daddy this, daddy that. She's grown. But you see, and when it came to the labor ward too, the daddy should never be in the labor ward. Unless maybe they're in a war-torn country and he's the only person who can ensure. Because listen, I said this thing some time ago on the show that when Danica was young, my husband never wanted to even clean her because she's a baby girl. He will clean Dante, all right. I'm sure if it becomes necessary, nobody is there, he can do it. But you see, as a man and as a father, even to your girl child, maintain boundaries. You don't go into your daughter's room and say, I'm giving her breast examination. your mother will do it. Now, when it comes to labor ward, everything is opened.
Trisets.
The Bible is at the center, open. And you as a father, you are comfortable watching your daughter go through certain processes.
He's at the back.
He wasn't in front.
But he's still seeing it.
Labor wards, I don't know which labor ward they are. There are some labor wards, the husband is by the side, but even some labor wards, there's a screen that projects what's going on.
Oh, wow.
So the father can appreciate the process of childbirth. It's usually the CS that the man stays on the side, because with the CS, it's not coming from below. It's because my husband was in the labor ward with me. You understand? So I know how the labor ward thing happens. So I'm just saying that, look, such an experience is too intimate for a father. Unless, of course, under very severe circumstances, maybe the girl's husband is dead or something and the baby had to be born, then in some country nobody else is there for her, he's the only person, then maybe it can be excused, kakra. But even that, nothing is wrong with having a baby without somebody in the labor ward. The doctors and nurses are capable of delivering the baby without somebody being there. I don't buy the fact that if the husband is not there, the sister should come, because the labor ward, I think, is an intimate place.
Exactly.
So you want to be there with somebody that you are comfortable with. If you're not comfortable with your husband's, you don't want your husband's sister also seeing your coochie and how it looks like and how it expands. And I don't think that I would also want that. But my father, that is also a no-no. The one who is responsible for putting a baby there is the one that I would love to be with me. Worst case scenario, maybe your mother. Because with your mother, you are sharing something that is childbirth with her. So maybe you can ask your mother to come in there with you. But apart from your mother and maybe your husband, the other people, it has to be under certain, circumstances. So my take is that, Mr. Husband, I don't think that your thoughts are invalid. They are very, very, very valid. I think that you need to have a sit down with your wife and not just say it in passing. Like you and your father, no. Call her one day at dawn and tell her that, look, listen, there's something that has been bothering me. It makes you feel unsettled. Show her that you respect the relationship between her and her father. You admire it a lot. But at the same time, you need to have that space in her life as a husband. And if you can walk around it properly, you can get into therapy. Probably get somebody to give you guidelines as to how to speak to her. Somebody who can speak to both of you as a couple, speak to each of you individually, or something. Something has to be done. But you see, things like this, if they continue, it means that the marriage is doomed eventually.
Actually, even at this stage,
that's what I'm saying. If it continues like this, then the marriage is on a ticking time bomb.
Right.
Because when you're in a relationship where something is eating you up and you are saying it and they are not listening, you are saying they're not listening, one day it just erupts like a volcano.
Right.
And then it's done.
Right.
And then the lady will not be saying that, I don't know what I've done to my husband. I have not cheated on him. I've not done this. But this thing that you are doing is pinching him.
Emotionally cheating
and you are
on him,
dismissing
actually.
him.
Yeah.
You are making it feel like he's not done anything. So I think that you've done well by enduring this all this while. If you sat there and waited for the husband, your father-in-law, to be in the labor ward with your wife, then you've done well. You have a man of patience. Maybe.
If they went through something like what you're talking about and they have that bond, it's not going to be easy for them to just up and leave. So I think we don't address things like that. We need to. If she came up to say, this is what Daddy and I have gone through, and so we have this bond.
I'm not sure she would realize it because of how she's acting, because she's acting immature.
Yeah. If she were listening.
She's acting oblivious. Like,
yes,
exactly.
she doesn't see anything wrong with it. And to the husband, if you try talking to her, she dismisses you again. I think I would go to the father, because the father seems like a man who is in love with his daughter. So I'm thinking he could have that, a bit of
man to man.
Exactly. Have a conversation with him. Let him know how his relationship with his daughter is affecting your marriage. Obviously, he loves his daughter.
Yes,
obviously, he doesn't want the daughter to be sad if the marriage goes south. Right? So he would give you a listening ear a bit.
All right, so let's get into the messages that we have from our social media handles. As a Ghanaian woman, I find her closeness with her dad unusual to this extent, especially in marriage. Sharing everything with your father while excluding your husband can seriously damage the emotional bond in the marriage. You are not wrong for feeling left out. Try have a calm but firm conversation with her, not about the dad, but about how her actions make you feel as a husband. This is from Amma here in Accra. Christine Kumasi says, brother, you are not overthinking. In Ghanaian culture, yes, fathers and daughters can be close. But once you're married, the husband becomes your primary emotional partner. Her dad being in the labor room instead of you or your family is quite telling. And counseling may help you both reset boundaries respectfully. Citizen Kobe is saying this is wrong on all levels. Doesn't his father have his own wife? I don't think the father has a wife. If he had a wife, I don't think this would be happening. We need to find the father's girlfriend.
I think there's no excuse for the father's actions, really. Whether you grief bonded, whether you're divorced, whether you're single.
We just heard the story.
No, you have no, my point.
We do, but
like, you have no excuse.
Right, so we have messages from Nigeria. Adobe in Lagos say, this is deeper than being a daddy's girl. In Nigeria, we love our parents, but this level of emotional dependence on her dad is excessive for a married woman. It's not normal. It's as if you are a visitor in your own marriage. I suggest involving a trusted third party, maybe a counselor or a family elder who you both respect. Chinedu in Abuja is saying, bro, I understand your pain. A man should never have to compete with his father-in-law for his wife's attention. This is emotional imbalance. If she's not willing to understand how this affects you, then it's time to dig deeper. Communication is key. But if she still shuts you out, please seek help before the marriage breaks silently. In Lusaka, we have Mumbi texting us. And in Zambia, we believe strong family bonds, but marriage is sacred. The wife is supposed to be emotionally cleaved to her husband. Her father might not see the harm. I don't understand why the father does not see the harm.
He should.
But it's your wife's responsibility to draw healthy boundaries. She may not realize how much is hurting you. Speak up again with love and clarity. Joseph in Indola says, brother, I feel you. We are taught to honor our parents, but this one, it seems like your wife is emotionally married to her dad. This can never be healthy for your home. This isn't jealousy. It's a cry for connection. Seek marriage counseling and don't be afraid to insist your role as a partner, not a side character. And on that note, sisters, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of
Thank you, Chris.
Sister. And a very big thank you to our sponsors once more. Gino, thank you so much for, holding us down. But we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, I will be sharing my final thoughts. All right, welcome back. It's still Sister right here on ChannelOne TV, and if you're listening, it's City 97.3 FM. So it's been an interesting episode, especially with the sort of letters that came in. These are real life situations, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that are going through these situations. But my final thoughts on this ones, I'm just going to keep it short and simple. With the first letter, I think that you really need to think it through. And yes, I would agree with the sisters that it's not just about rushing for marriage. Marriage is a great security for you as a woman, but the truth is, what will happen if you end up marrying someone that you never knew and that you thought you knew because you were in a long-distance relationship for 1 year and you never spent time with this person? And we know how long-distance relationships can be, especially if the person is living, say, in Europe or in America. They come down probably once or twice in a year, and they get to spend, like, say, from 1 week to 3 weeks here. And if it's going to be more, even, say, 6 weeks, and that's it. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's time for you to just say, you know what, I'll rather visit you first. Let's start small. Let's start, with baby steps. Let's visit each other first. You've come to Ghana to see me. Okay, it's my turn to come over to, say, wherever he is. It could be Americas or the Europes or, wherever he is. And, yeah, you take it from there. Visit him first. Let it go step by step. Be in his comfort zone. Understand him. And also have a plan, and also get to know the terrain that you are going to be moving into, if in case you move someday. Because obviously it's very hard to leave something that you are doing, especially if the thing is giving you joy, if the thing is giving you comfort, if the thing is giving you money, especially when it comes to career and your job. So yeah, it's so hard to leave, and in the name of marriage, in the name of I love you, in the name of we will be together forever, because we never know what can happen. We never know what will happen if it goes south. We never know who this person is, because you only spend time with him on holidays. And 1 year only on a long distance relationship, I don't think is enough. So let's take it step by step, baby steps. And the next step should be, let me visit you, instead of just moving off to a country that you do not know. Now, with the second letter, I think it's an issue of, being a daddy's girl. Okay, I'm a daddy's girl, but obviously I have boundaries. And I think this particular issue is a issue of maybe there's no wife, there's no mother, it's just daddy and this girl. And I feel like the onus also lies on the dad to know better. But I don't know. Maybe he's old and suffering from anopause. I don't know. I do not know. I don't know how old this guy is. But, bro, if you feel a certain way, I think you have spoken to your wife enough and nothing is happening. It's probably time that you guys, get into some counseling, seek therapy, talk to someone else. There should be a third party. Talk to an elder, talk to someone respected in the family. If there's no mother, if there's no sibling, I think there should be someone else that exists in the family. I don't think those are the two people that are left in the family. Or is it? If that's the case, then I think you need to talk to a therapist. But yeah, your feelings are valid. It's weird. And you two don't impose your family members on her too. Okay. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying with us. It's been a great episode, and I hope we all enjoy it. To everyone that actually sent in their letter, thank you so much for trusting us to read your letters right here on the show, and I hope you get to resolve your problems. Big thank you to Gino, too, for holding us down. And do not forget to use anything, Gino. We have the rice, we have the tomato paste, we just have, the spices. Just use Gino if you want a great meal. You cannot be dulling, Anyway, my name is Kata. Thank you so much. It's been Sister right here on ChannelOne TV and City 97.3 FM. I hope to see you all next week right here, same time. Bye-bye.